Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 96 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Minecraft 1.21. Today I'm playing with and learning particle accelerators, and what I'm learning is I don't think we have enough space inside our hyperbox to do what we want to do. But I want to show you what I've discovered between episodes from playing around. So first off, I'm trying to combine two things as cheaply as possible. So you'll notice that the fluxite that I was trying to make requires 1,000 joules of energy. The cheapest recipe is redstone and rotten flesh to make an enderic compound, and that requires 500 joules. Now, luckily, I have figured out how to figure out how many joules of energy something takes. So if you look at the particle accelerator here, you'll see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable this for a minute and just let something shoot through here, right? Easy peasy, right? So what's going to happen is because that's not going to happen, it's going to eventually, shoot out. Now on the UI here, you can see the particle is currently accelerating. You can see the speed that it's currently traveling at, which will get faster and faster and faster because it'll more quickly pick up acceleration. And then eventually the max gate distance, that's how far apart the gates are allowed to be. And then the minimum curve distance. And then once we hit a certain threshold, the particle exits the accelerator, okay? And that's, bad news. We don't want that particle exiting the accelerator. We want it to go somewhere. So, and specifically what we want it to do is we want it to collide with another particle somewhere else from another accelerator, I think. So for that last episode, we set up this little doohickey. Now, what I've noticed is you don't want them to actually, you don't want them to exit their particles because they won't collide in space. And I think I can demonstrate this. So I'm going to launch these two at the same time. And what's going to happen is because they don't collide in space, if the timing is correct on this, which I've gotten it to happen once or twice, what'll happen is this particle will leave, pass by the other one, and enter this one, and then go around and come out here. And the same for this. He'll go this way, come around, and shoot out here. But only if these two particles are perfectly aligned. See? See what happened? So yeah, that's what happened. So this particle went through the air, did not collide because they don't collide midair, and then passed through around here and then shot out this way because it got too fast. Okay, so you don't want these particles to collide in air. You want them to collide inside a particle accelerator ring. So I'm going to try this again now. And you'll see now we're accelerating. And what's going to happen is they will collide, and we'll know they collide because when two particles collide inside a ring system like this, it will report it on this particle accelerator dude. Okay? Now, weirdly enough, yesterday when I was playing with this, I actually did get it to craft and have enough energy, but I have been unable to repeat that process. There we go. So it just collided with 158 joules of energy. So not nearly enough to do what we want to do, which is a little bit of a bummer. Now what I could do, is move this out of here and make a bigger ring. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're gonna abandon this hyperbox. I'm going to break everything that's in here. And then we're going to go build a bigger ring that can hopefully support faster speeds. And then we can actually start crafting stuff. Does that sound like a plan? So I will be back. And we're going to have to do this outside of a hyperbox. So I'm going to go do it somewhere. Because like I said, it looks like if you do something really, really dumb, you can make a black hole somehow. And I don't know what that entails and what... I don't know anything about that. All I know is that there's a little bit of a flavor text kind of thing that says it could be bad, don't do this. And I mean, I'm going to do it, right? We're going to absolutely have to do it. How could I resist creating a black hole? So what I'm probably going to wind up doing is going somewhere very far from my main base in the overworld and trying this out. Now, I'm pretty sure you're not going to accidentally make a black hole. But then again, maybe you will. I don't know. It's very unclear as to how it happens. So it's just something to note, right? So let's go find a place You know where I could do it? I could do it at, like... I have an idea. I'm gonna go do it... Where are you? Portal gun. I need more portal fluid, by the way. You're, like, nice and automated, right? Portal fluid? Do we have portal fluid in here? We have portal fluid in here. Nice. Cool. Full portal fluid. Nice. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is head over to the desert, which, you know, by nature of being a desert, it should be relatively flat. And easier to... What are you? Ars Nouveau? That's a new mob. I'm not familiar with that guy. I'm not familiar with him at all. So let's find like a nice flattish kind of area upon which I can build this. And if I have to like clear some terrain with my cut and paste gadget, I could do that as well. Maybe... Maybe here. Like here? Does that sound cool? Liking the sounds of that. I maybe should have gone a little bit higher because clearly I missed some sand, but that's okay. We can solve that. So this will be my particle accelerator testing area. Is that cool? And then from here to here, we will click twice, and that should be pretty good. Cool. I'll just build this in with bricks. We want a nice flat area to work in. All right, so then, yes, hello, cat. Good to see you. Beat it. Trying to build particle accelerators here. So then what we want to do is rebuild what we had out there, and I want to see how fast things can get before they get out of control and test out how this will work. So effectively, I want to make sure I have enough space here, but we're going to have you, and then I'm going to have what I probably want to do is I want to have like the sensor in the right place for this. But that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that sensor guy here. Okay. And then we'll have probably you. And then actually, no, I want you to go here. And then here. I think the problem is that we don't want it to be too tight. I think it has to go straight for a little bit before it's allowed to curve again, if I'm understanding the way this works. So I just want like a bigger circle. Does that look right? I think that looks right. I might want this to be bigger on the back end too. That'd be cool. Yeah, I like that. I'm very bad at placing these. How's that feel? Does that feel cool? I feel like that feels cool. Alright, so then I guess my question now is how fast can this guy accelerate? And let's not forget to put ender gates on you, you, and you. So I'm hoping that, like, having a longer straight path here means that he can go beyond 105, 106 before he, like, blasts out somewhere and collides with something. But what speed can we reach? See, we went past 100. Nice. That's cool. So we can get to 264 now. Which, by the way, on that redstone speed sensor thing, 250 is a signal strength of 7. So that's cool. Okay. That's cool. So now do I want to, like, replicate this design? And Armadillo, I appreciate you, but you're, like, right where I don't want you to be. So should we replicate? So now, like, and now that said, if I made this even bigger, I think we'd be even cooler, right? Because this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could extend it out a little further that way, and I bet it would make it so that I can go even further. I want to try that to see if my theory is correct. So I'm going to extend you straight. And then we can have... I like having the particle accelerator speed up dude right here. So that was 264. Let's see how much faster I can go now, right? So the bigger the rings, the faster it can go. Because I think the problem was having the curves too close to each other was my limiting factor. So if you want this to get to truly ridiculous speeds, you need to get it, like, bigger and bigger. The more straight ways there are before a curve, the faster it can accelerate. So this should be able to get faster than 264 with this current setup. See, I'm learning the particle accelerator bit. It's very cool. So we should be able to get beyond 264. Aha, we did. Nice. Nice! 495. So the next redstone signal level is at 500. So that actually doesn't help us a whole lot. We'd need to make it a little bit bigger all the way around if we want to go beyond 500 meters per second, which I probably want to do. So I'm probably going to do that. So what I'll do is we're going to want it all the way around, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to straight path this. We're going to pop another dude here, right? I'm going to get better at building these, you'll see. Is that right? Because basically I want to straight path this and then have the curve here. And then And that should be bigger now. And then that should be able to go beyond 500, I would expect. Yeah. Now it's going to take a little bit longer to get up to speed, so it might make sense to build a few more of these particle accelerator, linear motion accelerator thingies, but, you know, we'll get there. Now, if you wanted to be more efficient with this, what you could have, because the rings have to be close to each other when it's going slow, but they can be further apart when it's going faster. So if you wanted to be more efficient, the way to do this would be to get it to a decent speed with a small ring, with closer together dudes, and then put it into a bigger ring with wider gate distances. Because you can get to a gate distance of 5 before you have to shoot it out, and that would be cool. So how fast can this guy get? Beyond 500, I would expect. Woo! 798. Woo! 750 is the next redstone signal. At redstone signal 9 is 750, by the way. So we could detect a signal strength of 9 and shoot it out, and it would be going at like 750-ish, right? And what we would do here then would be like signal output would go like that, and then this guy. So that would be yellow equals blue being greater than 8, right? And then it would be like that. And then once it hits 750, it would shoot out in that direction. Cool. So now for giggles, what is the speed at which we want to do this? So, or how many of these do we need? Right. So what we're going to want is from here to here. And our materials list, we're going to need 13 more particle accelerator rings. A little bit expensive fluxite-wise, but I'm sure I can manage it. But yeah, watch. Once we hit like 750-ish, which we will get to. Like, the faster it goes, the faster it speeds up, right? Because every time it crosses one of these things, it speeds up a little bit more. This is fun to build. Okay, and then once we hit 750, boom. Now, keeping in mind, it probably went around a couple times before it hit that redstone signal sensor tripper thingy. That's why it got to 757. But, like, it definitely shot out the right direction, which is what we want. Okay, so let's go home. Get ourselves a little bit more fluxite so we can make some more guide rings, and then make a second guide ring. So I think I need platinum. We've got clumps from all the platinum processing we've been doing. And which one is it? It's the centrifuge without water, which is the slower one, unfortunately. That gets me this dude. Now, if I wanted to, this is probably a little bit cheating, but 32, that's all I got going on with you? extremely slow. But that's all right. It'll be just a few minutes, and then we'll place this guy back. So I will come back in a moment once I get more dudes. I guess I could start with, like, how many did I say I need? 13? Yeah, we're not too far off. So let's get, like, 7, and then we'll get 6 more when this is done. Cool? Be right back. All right, so I think I've got what I want to get now. So let's take the anchor off here. Does that look like a decent place? Or we want to get a little bit closer? Maybe a little bit closer. Make sure we're aligned properly. That should be cool. Did it even insert? It did. It even put the nitro gates on. Good job. Good job, copy-paste gadget. 11 out of 10. No notes. All right, so then I'm going to swap this guy to this side. We're going to want to plop down. I didn't include this in the copy, right? But that's going to be blue is equal to red being greater than, what did I say? 7 or 8? Yellow is equal to blue being greater than 8. Now, technically, I don't have to do this, I don't think. Because what'll happen is this guy... Well, let's do it and see what happens. So greater than 8. Because I think what'll happen if I do this the way I think... and actually, no, that shouldn't be there. It should be green. Okay, so the only thing that might be an issue, and we might need a couple more particle accelerator guide rings, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we'll see. Actually, no, you should be cool to do this. And that should be viable. I guess we're going to see what happens. Okay, so then now what we'll do is we'll have our laser nodes. Okay, so you're going to be this guy and this guy with these two, right? And then, did I move the... And then you're going to be on the down, will be an insert on white with the filters. And then you on the down will be an insert on orange with the filter. And that should be cool. And then that and that and that input on white. So that should be cool. Okay. So if we test this now, what should happen is when I pulse the button, the extractors should both run in the same tick because we have the node overclockers in here. Technically, we only need one of these. That should be all we need to have. And it'll insert a redstone here. It'll insert the zombie flesh here, or the electrum dust, but I'm testing with the zombie flesh first. We're going to see how much speed we get. And what should happen is it should loop a bunch of times, and then once it hits around 750 speed, this line will straighten and this line will straighten, and they'll collide somewhere in here. Let's see what happens. Looking good. But you know what I did do? I need to, I forgot that I want to adjust. I need to, like, mirror this design. So this should still work, by the way, but it won't be perfectly aligned because I derped a little bit on the mirroring. Okay, so you go like that. Cool. So your speeds are going to be a little bit off, probably, maybe. But that's kind of okay. As long as they collide. So what's going to eventually... It'll collide somewhere else this time. That's okay. I think that's okay. Nice! 1556 collision power. That's cool. And look, there's my enderic compound. I haven't figured out how it knows which collider to do which in. But now, if we test this, it should be perfectly aligned and stay at the same rate everywhere. So they should be in tandem now. And as a reminder, I can throw more of these particle accelerator dudes in here, and that should be fine. And it should speed it up quicker, right? And that would be cool. See? They're kind of like mirrored to each other now. Yeah, buddy. That's cool. That's cool. He's outputting a signal strength of 2. Getting faster. Now it's at 3. And it would accelerate quicker if I put more particle accelerators in there, right? 100%. Like, definitely a thing. Up to 5. 6. 7. And then as soon as it hits 8... Nice! 3,000 joules of speed. That is bananas level. That is cool. And look, we got the fluxite. Oh, that's awesome. It worked. It's totally working. That is cool. Right? So now we're getting 3,000 joules. So we can't quite make nether stars yet, because that requires 15,000 joules. So we need probably much bigger rings to facilitate that. Now what's interesting is I noticed the joule speed was a little bit different. I'm wondering if, like, different items get different speeds, right? So I'm curious, like, what the end result speed of this will be, and then if I do these two again, what the end result of that will be. I'm wondering if, like, different items have different attributes somehow. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not even sure what I'm saying. But I feel like the speeds were different. So we should be able to make anything under 3,000 at this point, right? So, like, we can't make an elytra. But we can make overcharged crystals, which is cool, right? All I need to do is add fluxite to the allow list over here, and then it would be this plus fluxite, and that would be cool, right? And then we just need an extractor card to extract from the bottom slot here. All right, we finally have this working. That's cool. It took me a minute to wrap my head around how this whole thing's supposed to work. And like I said, we could probably be more efficient with it. I think if we had a smaller ring that transfers to a bigger ring, that would be cool. But, like, we'd need 2 smaller rings to transfer to 2 bigger rings. And at that point, it almost doesn't feel like it's worth it. But maybe. Nice! 3,000. That's cool. Okay. So then let's go ahead and do this and this. And we should be cool to get that dude going. Okay? That is nifty. I like this. I like this. This is fun. Yeah, it's super fun. And it's weird because I would expect the collision to occur here, because they should be perfectly synced, but they're obviously not perfectly synced, and I don't know what the difference is. Yeah, like, I don't have a good explanation for what the difference is. I guess technically this should be here, right? If we're talking about mirroring correctly, yeah, it should be. But that would be the only thing that's not mirrored properly. So that should be getting there. And again, more accelerators would definitely make this a faster process. It would pick up speed quicker. Nice. It's working. And there's your overcharged crystal. Beautiful. All right, let me come back in a few minutes and we'll check this out some more. All right, so now that I'm looking at it, I do believe that we're pretty much at the wrapping up point for the episode anyway. So let's wrap up here, and then when we come back next episode, we'll see if there's any good way to improve this a little bit. I'm thinking more particle accelerators would be cool if I can afford them. And apparently I can, so let's do that. That'll help speed things up for us. And then, could I get even like 2 more of those? Because if I had 6, that would be cool. Yeah, I can. Nice. All right, so I'll let that all cook. And then from there, we'll just, we'll have this as an available crafting mechanic for ourselves. And then in addition, we can, proceed with checking out some of the other cool stuff we wanted to check out. Because remember, the whole thing we started this on is we needed to get overcharged crystals, and I didn't want to do this recipe. I wanted to do this recipe, and now we can. So setting this up with automation would be cool. And then also, I kind of want to figure out what that black hole thing is all about. So, like, once we really have this automated, we can build, like, an even bigger one of these and see what happens. Does that sound like a plan? We'll find out. For now, Del20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.